fam. Today's video is on Roland Martin and Dr. Ebony. Now, if you new here, what we do here is read, listen, watch, and we block talk, break down everything. Now, this is a warning before we even start, y'all. And you probably thinking it's me about to warn you about the things I'm about to say, but it's not that, y'all. I'm warning you because of Roland Martin and Dr. Ebony. What they about to proceed in doing is insulting you. Talking to you like you're a child, an imbecile. Roland Martin even suggests basically that his IQ is light years ahead of yours. And another warning, you might actually hear me raise my voice, but guess what? It's in defense of you and what I'm hearing and seeing from Roland Martin and Dr. Ebony, who are another two operatives, y'all. They the reason why this channel exists. Joe Biden talking about he's stopping misinformation unless they approve it. This the kind of information they approve, y'all. You think they gonna flag this type of video? Let's go in, because when you come here, you gonna hear what you ain't hear on no other channel. That's why you come to BTN. You hear me? Let's begin. Y'all see them on the screen, huh? Let me know if you can't hear something too. Let's continue. Let's begin. My bad.
I got this first person blessing season, so you trust the government. What about the Tuskegee experiment? Okay, let me say this.
Can I talk on that for a second? Can I talk on the Tuskegee?
Go ahead. Because I was gonna go ahead and handle it, but go right ahead.
Did you hear that? Off the rip. You see his demeanor, y'all? When he talking to you, even his audience is viewing this. Let's say I'm a Roland Martin audience viewer, y'all. I usually agree with Roland Martin, but with the vaccine, I disagree. You see how he talking to you, audience member? You've been supporting him all this time, and he talking to you, talking about he gonna handle you. He gonna handle this one. Y'all heard him? Handlebars, steering. Oh, he gonna steer you. He gonna steer you in a direction he wants you to go in. My bad, y'all. Not in a direction he wants you to go in, but his handlers. While he trying to handle you, his handlers are telling him to steer you into this direction, y'all. Into this direction. Matter of fact, let's replay what he says so you can understand. He gonna handle you, audience member, longtime supporter. He gonna handle black people. That's what he do out here. Let's listen.
So you trust the government. What about the Tuskegee experiment? Okay, let me say this.
Can I talk on that for a second? Can I talk on the Tuskegee?
Go ahead. Because I was gonna go ahead and handle it.
You heard him? I was gonna go ahead on and handle it. You see, he gonna handle you, audience member. So that means it don't matter what you're viewing on his channel. He's handling you. Handlebars, steering you. You are witnessing a rebel network. You're gonna hear what you don't hear nowhere else. You understand me? But he was gonna handle it. But he gonna toss y'all over to his little guest like you some type of lightweight. No, what? Handle it for me right quick. Matter of fact, y'all, do he ever have this type of energy for the Republicans? Not only that, do we have this type of energy in your defense ever? Ever? You are witnessing a rebel network. Let's continue.
But go right ahead.
Because Tuskegee is brought up over and over again, but if people truly know the history of what Tuskegee actually was.
Oh, because Tuskegee is brought up over and over again. Oh, you tired of it, huh? You tired of it being brought up. You know why it's being brought up? It's because we learn lessons from what happened during the Tuskegee experiment, y'all. That's why it's being brought up. And today you about to watch us annihilate this entire video. If you have the attention span to pay attention throughout the entire video. I told you we not playing. Let's continue. As she just not told you black people, viewers, that, oh, if they actually look at history, because Negroes too stupid to know the actual history, huh? We's too stupid to know history, huh? Dr. Ebony. Let's replay that.
You know, the history of what Tuskegee actually is brought up over and over again, but if people truly know the history of what Tuskegee actually was, Tuskegee experiment was carried out.
You hear that? But let's continue.
From 1932 to 1972, just 10 years before I was born, it was actually ended. And this is
from 1932 to 1972. That's how long them people experimented on black people. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, y'all. Let's jump to another mark in which we have to view.
But actually what they were looking for was people with syphilis. And the thing with Tuskegee was, and we're going to give you treatment for bad blood. Actually, the U.S. Public Health Service calling out to the Black community saying, we want people with quote unquote bad blood to come in and we're going to give you treatment for bad blood.
Did you hear that? The United States was quote unquote calling black people, saying that they was going to treat them for bad blood. Let's replay it again because I got to make sure, y'all, because it was skipping and all kind of craziness. She said the United States was calling people in so they can treat them for they bad blood. Let's continue as we replay what she said.
Calling out to the Black community saying, we want people with quote unquote bad blood to come in and we're going to give you treatment for bad blood. But actually what they were looking for was people with syphilis. And
let's start right there. So that mean the American government lied to us, y'all. That mean the government lied to us. See, that's a part of the Tuskegee experiment in which we learn from. They're going to come in lying to us, saying that they're going to give us treatment. You heard that, right? They was going to give them treatment. They promised them treatment for their bad blood. And what she said? But actually, it was for syphilis. But actually, how you going to just graze over that? She just lied. The experiment entitles that. A part of the experiment, y'all, is to lure the black people in. You have to lure people in to take part in an experiment. That's what we learn from, that they're going to come in lying, talking about treating us, ma'am. What are you talking about? What are you talking about right now? Let's replay that, y'all. Let's replay that. We don't play over here.
Blood to come in and we're going to give you treatment for bad blood. But actually,
get to the lie. My bad.
The Black community saying we want people with quote unquote bad blood to come in and we're going to give you treatment for bad blood. But actually, what they were looking for was people with syphilis. And the thing with
you heard her lying. So we learned that part that they gonna come in lying. Now continue.
Tuskegee was that they did not give them treatment. That
was the big thing, that they did not give them treatment. Y'all, we about to get into it though. Don't think I'm not about to chop every last word of this down. We go back and give people the information that they need. We go all the way to the source. We research. Y'all must have lost y'all mind. You are witnessing the Rebel Network. Let's continue.
That was the problem with Tuskegee.
Let's slow that down. They were not injected with anything.
No.
What they did was monitor them. They didn't give them any. They didn't provide any medical care. There was no injection of black people in the Tuskegee experiment. Go ahead.
No, she not gonna go ahead. Ain't no way I'ma just let her go ahead like that, y'all. Y'all heard what this boy just not said? I wrote it down just to make sure we don't miss nothing. He said they were not injected, y'all. He said they was just monitored. First of all, if they just monitored them, that's a part of the experiment that we learned from. They lied. They said they were going to treat them. They didn't even mention syphilis. They just said they were going to treat them. But guess what? If you got the attention span, we're going to go back to the actual history. This ain't the only video that we breaking down, y'all. You heard that boy right there? He said that they just monitored them. They didn't inject them, y'all. That's a part of the goddamn lesson. They just watched you die. You understand me? We just monitored you. We just lied about giving you treatment. And not only that, not only did they lie, y'all, about giving you treatment, my bad, because I know I might slip and say a cursed word, you did, because I get mad. But look at this man who directly insulting black people in order to lead them to slaughter, y'all. in order to lead them to slaughter. Let's continue as I share a screen with y'all. Let me share something with y'all, because he said they did not inject them. They didn't, Roland. They didn't. Check this out. Since they didn't inject them, huh, Roland? As soon as y'all type in pictures from Tuskegee. I'm just being sure, y'all. Type in pictures from Tuskegee and tell me what you see, because I'm gonna show you what I'm seeing right now, y'all. Do you see that? Do you see that top line? Don't that look like people injecting? See, can you see them small letters under the photographs of people injecting after we Googled pics from Tuskegee? You see what that say? That say Tuskegee experiment, the infamous history. The infamous history. See? Because they did inject. See? I told you. When you come here, you hear what you don't hear nowhere else. You are witnessing a rebel network, y'all. But like I said, though, y'all, we was going to break down every last word of what Roland Martin and Dr. Ebony. How come her last name not even on a video, y'all? Let's go back to that screen. Roland Martin and Dr. Ebony. What kind of respected doctor are you? You walking around letting somebody call you Dr. Ebony. Tell him put your last name on a video and give you your due respect. Dr. Ebony, unless y'all didn't want us to look her up, huh? Kept that last name out there, huh? So Block Talk News wouldn't find her. I know how y'all get down. Look, y'all. Now let's go back, because I told y'all we was going to break down every last little word she said. Now what we going to do is break it down from that point. Let's hear what she said, y'all. Let's remember. Let's recall what she said.
People were syphilis. And the thing with Tuskegee was that they did not give them treatment. That was the problem with Tuskegee.
That was the only big problem, y'all, that they didn't treat them. And then we hear Roland Martin, he was going to jump in. Because you don't know history. Let's go back. If you got the attention span, we breaking it down. This is a part of breaking it down. We chopping and screwing it if you're from Texas. I'm not, though, but let's continue.
Tuskegee actually was. Tuskegee experiment was carried out from 1932 to 1972, just 10 years before I was born. It was actually ended. And this is Tuskegee experiment was actually the U.S. Public Health Service calling out to the Black community saying, we want people with quote unquote bad blood to come in and we're going to give you treatment for bad blood.
The first thing we learn, don't trust them. They will come with lies. They will pay you, ask you to vax that thing up, make a song. That's the first lesson we learn, that the United States, as she just said, will come to you with lies. They lied to the men, but to her, the only problem was that they didn't treat them. All right, y'all, let's continue. You witnessing the rebel network as I breathe in and out through my nose to calm down. Let's continue.
But actually what they were looking for was people with syphilis. And the thing with Tuskegee was that they did not give them treatment. That was the problem with Tuskegee. They
let's
You heard her? Let's continue to this clown.
slow that down. They were not injected with anything.
No.
What they did was monitor them. They didn't give them any. They didn't provide any medical care. There was no injection of.
Y'all heard him. They didn't inject them. What I just showed y'all. I just showed y'all a picture of them injecting people. I just showed y'all a picture of them injecting people. Roland Martin is spreading disinformation, misinformation. He's lying. Oh, they just monitored. Why you being so light with the verbiage when it comes to the United States government? You and Dr. Ebony. She said that the United States government was calling out the Black community. Oh, we about to get into it. Matter of fact, I just can't even wait no more. Let's break down what she said. As she said, they was calling out the Black community. Let me share something with y'all. The people who actually got that attention span, you still sitting right here. You probably done press like and everything. Even though they hating, I know the button gonna jam, but we ain't worrying about it. We inevitable, and we gonna keep going with it. Let me show y'all something. Let me share something with y'all. Let me share this with you. Listen to this boy right here. Please listen to him.
Of the male population infected with the disease. By 1931, the Great Depression was at its height and the Rosenwald funds were short. Despite the need to continue research, the Rosenwald Fund stopped operating in this capacity. So the PHS approached the Tuskegee Institute about forming a research group in order to study the effects of untreated syphilis on a black male population.
Did you hear that? The research group, the ones who was funding the research to cure syphilis, in 1932, they was running low on money. So all of a sudden, they teamed up. And what did they do with the who they teamed up with? Y'all, my bad, because you gotta be on point with it. With the PHC or the PCH or whatever he just said, they teamed up with America and they experimented on blacks. Notice it came right after they ran low on funds. Let's repeat that. Let's repeat that. As soon as they ran low on money, they began to experiment on black people in 1932. Remember that, because that's important. Let's continue. Let's replay that. Know how we get down.
With over 35% of the male population infected with the disease. By 1931, the Great Depression was at its height and the Rosenwald funds were short. Despite the need...
You heard that? The funds were short. The funds were short.
Depression was at its height and the Rosenwald funds were short. Despite the need to continue research, the Rosenwald Fund stopped operating in this capacity. So the PHS approached the Tuskegee Institute about forming a research group in order to study the effects of untreated syphilis on a black male population.
You see, they ran low on money and then they regrouped and they laid up there and started experimenting on the black male population. Did you hear that? Did you notice that the picture went from white when they were studying it to dark? Did you notice that? I'm about to make you notice it, though. I'm going to make you notice it. Look at it. Look, you see how white, bright? Oh, y'all was no, don't show that picture, you clowns. Let me see.
Rate with over 35% of the male population infected with the disease. By 1931, the Great Depression was at its height and the Rosenwald funds were short. Despite the need to continue research, the Rosenwald Fund stopped operating in this capacity. So the PHS approached the Tuskegee Institute about forming a research group in order to study the effects of untreated syphilis on a black male population for a duration of 6 to 9 months. And then
from 6 to 9 months, I want y'all to know right now that the woman already informed us. One of her actual truths was that they experimented on us from 1932 to 1972. But continue, because I'm saying that for a reason, because that's very important that you remember the dates on in which they laid up there and experimented on people. Continue.
Follow up with a treatment plan. The Institute agreed, along with the head of the university's hospital, Dr. Eugene Dibble. The study during the first year was led by Dr. Taliaferro Clark. The PHS enrolled 600 Macon County men, 399 with syphilis and 201 who weren't infected. They would be a part of the study.
They even enrolled people who were not infected with syphilis, y'all. That lets you know that something else was going on. All kinds of experiments. We already saw them injecting people. Do I need to go back to that picture? But I will. Let's continue, though.
None of the men actually knew what the study was for.
Did you hear that? None of the men knew what the study was for, y'all. Them men didn't even know what the study was for, bruh. Listen.
Who weren't infected, they would be a part of the study. None of the men actually knew what the study was for. They were looking with the promise of free healthcare, something that none of them had, and also the treatment of bad blood.
Stop right there. You heard them? The men did not know what this experiment was for. They lured them in, talking about they was going to get free health care. Like how they doing today, talking about they going to pay you, or making a song to vax that thing up. You heard them? They lured them in with lies. This is a part of the experiment. This is how we will lure them in, making sure I pronunciate everything all right, because I know I'm probably too country for some of y'all's. I know you can't take me serious because I'm not speaking the English language properly or whatever, what have you. You did? But let's continue, y'all, because I am getting mad. Let's continue. But we gonna replay that part just so y'all understand what they just not said. They lured the men in who didn't even know what the experiment was about.
None of the men actually knew what the study was for. They were lured in with the promise of free healthcare, something that none of them had, and also the treatment of bad blood.
Yeah, you heard that. Free healthcare and actual treatment. But the woman said, oh, all it was about is that they didn't treat them. They didn't actually treat them. That's a lie. That's a part of the experiment we learned from. What are you talking about, man? What exactly are you talking about? Let's go to the 314. No, we went past that one. 330. Listen, you are witnessing the Rebel Network.
Said that the reason for the deception was that it would be the only way the men would stay in the study, and the researchers, they wanted to closely observe the course of the disease over a large sample size to see the effects as the disease progressed, even to death.
Do you hear them trying to explain they treacherous acts? Oh, we only lied because that was the only way they was gonna stick around. For real? Oh, that's the only reason y'all lied to them, because they wouldn't stick around if they knew how terribly dangerous we were. They wouldn't stick around for the experiments if they knew exactly how diabolical we are. They wouldn't stick around for that exam if they knew that we was about to be selling their genes or doing whatever despicable things they might have done that we can't find today. Wow. But watch this, y'all, because they about to actually keep trying to explain away the reasons. Let's continue. Let's see.
But not to worry, because as long as the ones that died allowed autopsies to be performed, their funeral expenses would be covered. It was actually...
Wow. Did you hear that? And I'm going to go back, y'all. He said as long as people agreed to have an autopsy, that they would pay for the funeral. You know what the autopsy was, right? More research. After you died from the experiments that was placed upon you by the hands of the United States government. But it's me, huh? It's me. I know. But let's make sure that everyone heard that. Let's make sure everybody heard that. You are witnessing the Rebel Network.
Not to worry, because as long as the ones that died allowed autopsies to be performed, their funeral expenses would be covered. It was actually not an uncommon practice at the time of taking the government's consent in medical matters rather than the individuals. But
did you hear that? Back then, they used to just take the government advice. See? You gonna be like them from back then? Roland Martin, the same one who trying to act like he didn't tell you to vote for Joe Biden. He trying to bring that back. But you trust him? Is it because he used to be on CNN? He used to be on MSNBC? He used to have a reputable reputation amongst the big wigs who you trust? You still trust him? You still trust the big wigs? Come on, bro. But remember, I'm not real news. I'm just Block Talk News on YouTube, because we just on YouTube talking. I know. You are witnessing the Rebel Network as we completely annihilate this topic. Shout out to Gigi, you heard me? Thank you. I don't usually be reading the comments either. You know, I just try to press the button and keep going, y'all. But let's continue.
But in part, the deception seems to result from the lack of respect that the doctors had for the men's intellectual capability.
Oh, run that back. He said, oh, it wasn't because they was black, y'all. It was because they was dumb, because they was illiterate, y'all. That's the reason why. Listen to him. See how these people operate? They double speak. Listen.
In the government's consent in medical matters rather than the individuals. But in part, the deception seems to result from the lack of respect that the doctors had for the men's intellectual capabilities. Most were illiterate, which the researchers thought was helpful, as it would be harder for the subjects to figure out what was going on.
Did you hear that? They was happy, first of all, because the men was illiterate, y'all, and that they wouldn't figure out what was going on. Don't that imply that other nefarious acts were taking place? Don't that imply that Frankenstein type science was taking place, y'all? Don't that imply that somebody got to be happy because somebody illiterate? So when you hear somebody talking about the facts on people who illiterate and can't read or write, that's by design. You see, these people were just exiting slavery, y'all. They was banned from reading and writing. They was only a decade, probably 2 decades out of slavery, y'all. They were banned from reading and writing. Yet he tried to imply, oh, because they couldn't read or write, that's why the scientists was like, oh, we don't even care. For real? For real? Then in the same sentence, he doubles back, y'all. He doubled back and told us they was happy that the dudes couldn't read or write because they couldn't figure out the treacherous acts of the United States government, y'all. You know we gonna repeat it, though. You know we gonna run it back. You know that. You know that. You are witnessing a rebel network.
Respect that the doctors had
for
women's intellectual capabilities. Most were illiterates, which the researchers thought was helpful as it would be harder for the subjects to figure out what was going on. There were also less than subtle hints of racial prejudice.
Look at them, less than subtle hints of racial prejudice. Out of all the stuff this man been telling us, he just not getting to the point where he think there's a little bit of subtle racism. You know what that's called? Code. You don't see him on here saying the United States were wrong for these acts. These are some treacherous things. Why would they lie to these people? Like how you would get on there. Why Cosby lied? Why Cosby? See, you see how he is? When we talking about his people experimenting on people, raping people, all kind of crap. You see how coded he is, though? But let me talk low because I don't want to frighten nobody. He be talking too loud and stuff. We scared, you know, while Roland Martin up here insulting you to your face. But let's continue because we don't play with this. We serious with this, bro. And we about to get back to Roland them. We ain't done. If you got the attention span, you know, you gonna get it. You gonna get it.
For example, in a letter to a colleague, Dr. Clark wrote that these Negroes are very ignorant and easily influenced by things that would be of minor significance in a more intelligent group.
Did you hear that? Remember what Dr. Ebony said? The only thing that was wrong is that they didn't treat people, which is a lie, that they ain't even treat people because you promised to treat people. So that's wrong. Remember? Roland Martin. Oh, they just monitored people, just watch people die. They just monitored. They just monitored you as you died, as you lied in your deathbed, as your ancestors lied in their deathbed. They set up there and monitored them, didn't give them the treatment they promised. See, that's what we learn, that they are going to come with promises. Promises to vax that thing up. Promises to pay you if you take it. We'll do this for you if you take it. And look what happened to these people the last time they trusted the United States with a promise. We're going to give you health care. Remember, free health care. Then the men had to sit up there and agree to an autopsy, which is more research, y'all, after that, in order for them to pay for the funeral. I know, though, it's just me, huh? It's just me. I better talk low because you scared. Let's continue.
Dr. Raymond Vonderler was the on-site doctor of the study. He actually supported partial treatment for the men for the sole purpose of making sure they remained in the study as in stayed alive. He was the...
You heard that? Oh, he supported medicine, but solely for the patients to stay alive while they while they experimented on them. Or as Roland Martin put it, as they monitored them. Because the only thing that was wrong is that they didn't treat them. After I just showed y'all them sticking needles in people. sticking needles in people's body, directly lying to you. That's your news media? Come on, let's continue.
One who actually gained consent for the men for spinal taps via letters that he sent to them. They read, "You will now be given a last chance for second examination. This examination is a very special one, and after it is finished, you will be given a special treatment if it is believed you are in condition to stand it."
Wow. Acting like they doing them a big favor. You will now be given a last chance. This your last chance right here. A spinal tap. Am I not mistaken? Or does a spinal tap not involve an injection site? An injection site, y'all. You have to be injected in order to receive a spinal tap, y'all. Why Roland Martin lying to you? This is why you come to Block Talk News. Ain't nobody else show you these pictures of them injecting people. I don't know where you been at, and I ain't insulting nobody. You dig? But I'm trying to let you understand what we do here. If you new here, we read, listen, watch, and we Block Talk break everything down. Not just the clips. We go deep in this. We serious with this. You understand me? You understand me? But let's go back to old Roland Martin video, y'all. Let's go back to them now that we know that they ain't nothing but some bold-faced liars. That they ain't nothing but some propaganda puppets. Let's go back to them now that we know that we dealing with bold-faced liars, y'all. Bold-faced liars. I'm glad you pressed like, and I'm glad all of y'all got the attention span to still be up here watching. What part y'all won't start from now that we know that they liars? Let's start from when Roland called himself going off on you, insulting you, like his IQ is light years ahead of yours. It don't matter if you've been supporting him all his life. Let's continue for I digress.
Let's slow that down. They were not injected with anything.
Stop right there. Now that we know that you are an absolute liar, let's stop right there. Let's stop the puppet right there as we witness him lie in 4K. As he lie in 4K, we now know that you are lying, sir. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. Do you see that? Do you see that? That looks like an injection, doesn't it? For those of you who need the English language voice for your news, why, that looks like a Tuskegee experiment. Oh, that's the history of the Tuskegee experiment there. The infamous history. Why don't we touch in on that? Do you see that? Oh, it's the History Channel, y'all. Oh, my bad. Back to the voice that's acceptable, because Block Talk News be yelling because he just that dude talking on YouTube. Why, here's your news here. It's directly from the History Channel itself. Tuskegee experiment, the infamous syphilis study. And there seems to be a guy with a needle injecting it into a Negro. He's injecting a needle into a Negro. Now, do you get it? You believe me now? This why you come here. This why you come here. You are witnessing the Rebel Network. You feel me? Now let's go back, y'all, because we going back to old Roland here. We ain't done with you. We ain't playing with y'all. We break it all the way down for the people with the attention span around here. You understand me? The people who share and like. You feel me? Because the message got to spread. You ain't got to like me, you did. Long as you spread the message, I really don't care. I really don't care. You see that? There we go again. Did you notice I haven't insulted anybody? Did I insult Roland Martin, you know, his physical appearance, y'all? No. So can you use that against me? You just talking about people and hating and all that? No. All I've been doing is presenting you with facts, because that's what we do here, bro. Because that's what we do here, man. But y'all, let's press play as we hop directly back. I know I digressed a little bit. Thank you for pressing like. Listen.
What they did was monitor them. They didn't give them any They didn't provide any medical care. There was no injection of black people to the Tuskegee experiment. Go ahead.
I just not showed y'all the pictures of them injecting. He's a bold-faced liar. If you steal somebody who pay attention to Roland Martin, because there's really a few people who actually pay attention to Roland Martin, it's time for you to stop. It's time for you to press subscribe to BTN, press like and subscribe. My bad. Y'all notice I ain't even mess up the pronunciation as much this video. But let's continue to annihilate this video, y'all. Annihilate this video.
Right. And that's the problem.
Yeah, right.
We knew that the cure for syphilis in 1940 was penicillin. So for
she just implied, y'all, that they knew about penicillin before the research at Tuskegee, y'all. She's a bold-faced liar. Talking about we knew about penicillin. Ma'am, you out of your own mouth told us that the experiment started in 1932. Remember? You also told us the experiments ended in 1972. Now you just not said in 1940 we knew about penicillin. Oh yeah? Oh yeah? Half a decade in, y'all found out? That was half a decade in the experiment. It sounds like a successful experiment, don't it? People who can put 2 and 2 together, don't it sound like a successful experiment? Within, matter of fact, less than a decade, all of a sudden you found penicillin? But wait, there's more. Let's go to our trusty historian, y'all, because you know, don't take my word for it. I was just a dude on YouTube talking. Don't take my word for it. I was just a Negro who don't know history. I can't use Apple or Google. There's no way for me to actually know what I was talking about. Now, let me share this with you. You are witnessing the Rebel Network at the 5-minute 41 mark, y'all. 5-minute 41 mark.
In 1928, a Nobel laureate, Alexander Fleming, discovered penicillin. 1930 was the first recorded medical use of penicillin to treat infections. After penicillin was used to treat the survivors of the Boston Cocoa Grove fire in 1942, it became the medicine of
1942.
Choice for the United States military for infections. By
1942.
Penicillin was the accepted treatment for syphilis. Despite this,
do you hear that? Despite this, did you hear that though? They started using penicillin around 1942. Let's continue.
The subjects of the Tuskegee syphilis experiments were never administered or offered penicillin.
Oh, and after they actually realized that penicillin worked, they did not give it to the patients at Tuskegee. They did not even give them treatment after they knew penicillin would work. Did you hear that? Let's bring that back. Did you hear that?
Syphilis. Despite this, the subjects of the Tuskegee syphilis experiments were never administered or offered penicillin as a treatment. The study administrators wanted to watch the survivors of the Boston Cocoa Grove fire in 1942. It became the medicine of choice for the United States military for infections. By 1945, penicillin was the accepted treatment for syphilis. Despite this, the subjects of the Tuskegee syphilis experiments were never administered or offered penicillin as a treatment. The study administrators wanted to watch the progression of the disease.
It's a damn shame.
Sick and in many cases died for the 40 years that the study went on, even though...
You heard that? The patients died. You got that, Roland Martin? While they was monitored. My bad. They was monitored though, because I know how important that is to you. They died, but they was monitored. They didn't get treated, but they was monitored. They was totally injected, but they was monitored. Thank you. You see why you come here? Because you get to see the injections themselves. Because a lot of people probably, didn't catch it, bro. But they bold-faced liars. These people is bold-faced liars. No telling what else they did to the men, bro. No telling what else. And let me make sure, y'all, let me make sure I drive the point. Get back to the needles before we wrap this up. Here's the injections, y'all. You see that? Do you see that? Let me make the screen bigger. Let me make it bigger. You see that? Y'all see that, bro? They injected people. Let's drive that point home. Roland Martin is a bold-faced liar. When he talked to you with complete disrespect. It don't matter if you're a supporter or not. You may have disagreed with him on this one subject, but look how he talked to you. I was going to handle it. Handlebars. Handlebars do what? Steer. He was going to steer you in a direction that his handlers want you to go in. I know, bro. We know. And then he got Dr. Ebony, mysterious Dr. Ebony, who don't want to put her last name because she know we gonna find out where she from. So all of a sudden, I can't even find her. I don't know. You know, I can't look up this woman to find out where she from. And a lot of content creators said that. See, but I hope I ain't scare nobody. You know how he be talking loud. He don't speak correct English and all of that. I'm scared to comment because he talk loud, as if I'm incapable of having proper dialogue. When you hop in them comments, I'm even more punctual than I am on this mic. What do you mean? I can write better than I can speak, probably. But don't worry, I'm tuning both of them up. Now, what you learn here today, that your mainstream media faces are absolute liars and puppets, y'all. They didn't inject nobody. He said with a direct attitude, insulting black people. What did Dr. Ebony say? If you actually know history, and we just proved that she actually don't know history, that she's actually a misleader, spreading misinformation, misleading my people. That's why I raised my voice. See? That's why we exist. See? You understand me? Ain't no highlights over here, just clips of what happened. We gonna annihilate the entire video. That's what you just witnessed. That's what you always witness. You are witnessing a rebel network. Once again, y'all holler at me.